Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise on modelling using computers and computer graphics. This is what quite a lot of people wind up using Python for, particularly mathematicians. They try to think, I'm not completely certain I know what the situation is, but I know enough about the rules of what's happening, I can create something that will play it. The game we're going to play is a standard horse racing game where each horse is given a number, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 necessarily. Top horse could be number 5, have a number 5, and each one is given a different number. So what happens is you roll 2 dice. If your horse has the total of those 2 dice, so a 3 and a 4, if my horse is number 7, it moves forward 1 space. So again, if I've got a 5 and a 5, I've got number 10, so the horse number 10, he moves forward 1. If I get a 1 and a 1, horse number 2, oh, I haven't got horse number 2, nobody moves. And you keep going normally in the game until you get to a position, a fixed position, maybe 12 moves on. For simplicity's sake, we're not going to do 12, getting to the end at 12. We're just going to try lots and lots of pairs of dice throws. Quick run through the worksheets. Basically, if you are doing the work as we go through, trying the code and show that you are able to make some of the manipulations and put your code into these boxes, or at least add screenshots of your version of what's going on, then you're looking at grade C, you're applying the computer knowledge that you can get. The grade B comes from actually doing the exercises, starting to write your own program. So you've been given a structure here that will create a series of commands for the horse race for 1 horse. You then need to change that so that your program will do 3 horses simultaneously. They all run along to the end, and you get a final picture. And let's see, have I got my picture? No, I haven't got my final version, so I'll paste that in a moment. So overall, what you're expecting to find is to be able to create something which will do the following run. I've got 3 horses, they're all going off. Top horse I think was running when the total is 3, second one when it's 5, bottom one is when it's 8. That's what we're looking for overall. Okay, so let's go back into the commands and start working through. So I've run the command session, start it up, let's do a quick run through what's happening. So the first task will take us through actually being able to create 3 different turtles that we can control separately. So it tells you that you can actually put in these 2 commands, no, these 3 commands. First one is the import. We're going to use the turtle program again. Second command is to say, I'm going to create a variable so I can talk to a turtle. And the way I actually say this variable says it is equal to a turtle, and I need what is called a new turtle. So this command actually says I've got a variable that uses the turtle program and has a new turtle on it. And I press that. Oh, that's because my sessions died on. Try again. Because I closed out the previous session, that's come up. Let's try again doing the turtle. T1 turtle, create the turtle. Nope, still not doing the create turtle. Let's start Python from scratch. It's because I tried to run it a few times that I got that error. So if I just do the Python, bring in a Python session 3.82, for type in import turtle, say turtle number 1 is equal to turtle, and I want a turtle. That's what that's saying, is within the turtle program I want a turtle. And now it creates my window for me with a new turtle in it. Turtle 2, do the same thing. Now you won't see any difference because the 2 turtles are created in the same place. Your first task, create a 3rd turtle. Then we're going to start positioning the turtles. We want them 3 in a line, all one above the other. You can separate them by 50 or 100, it doesn't really matter. But notice the pen up is needed so that it moves and it doesn't draw a line. So if I do T1, pen up, I want to move it from 0, 0, I want to come back a few places, give myself a bit of a run towards the side. So I'm going to say T1, go to back 200 places, and I want to go 200 places up. That'll put one turtle up here. I've still got my other turtles down here. I've only got 2. You need to create a third turtle. My turtle number 2, before I finish, we don't ever want to move again, we just want to draw lines as we go through. So I'm going to make sure the turtle is drawing lines again. So I need to do something similar for turtle 2 to move it so that it will actually put the turtle here and in a line with it. Step 3. So you need to add code to move turtle number 2. That's that bit. Now we can use the turtle color command to give them different colors. I don't mind if you use the names or go back to last week and we're using hash FF0000. If you remember from last session, first 2 digits is the hexadecimal red. FFFF is maximum red. So my turtle number 1 is now coming red. If I do turtle number 2, use the color command again, and I can change that to a different color. So the second pair, it is in pairs, red, green and blue. So to create that one, I've got a bright green one that still needs to be moved. So you still need to put the codes in to move this around. I'm going through the phases. That allows me to set up my stuff. So all of that, when I've got all of this commands set up, I copy them and I'm going to put them into a new file, because this is the setup part of my program for creating my turtle. So go through, take out all these arrows. Now the quick way to get rid of all those arrows is to do the edit and replace command. And if I replace 3 arrows and a space with nothing and tell it to replace all, my code's now all lined up. Not good code yet because I haven't set up anything in here and I haven't saved it even. So first line is the hashtag and this is the horse racing game. Make sure you've got your name on it. And just as we're going to come into the next comment or the next section, all imports should appear at the top. So in a minute we're going to create something to use the random number generator that we did a few months ago. Remember when we created dice? We're creating dice again, but this time we're not showing dice, we're showing the turtles moving. Doing groups of things. So the first part here is to set up, and you should have 3 turtles. So create 3 variables and initial lines where they go to. So this bit of code, you should have something similar for turtle 2, turtle 3. Remember, we want them on different lines vertically. Standard coordinates, horizontal position, vertical position. So I'll leave that up to you to work out which one of those numbers. And make sure we got the colouring. Do file save as. Documents, it's not in there, it's in my shared Python turtle, and we're doing horse race. Save that. So I've now got a horse race py, which will create my turtle, set them up, and I've got a red one and a green one. You should have a red, green and blue, or whatever colours you like, but do make sure they're clear and you know which one's which. Next bits that we're going to do yeah, take the code out of the way, is the bit about rolling dice. So if I'm rolling a dice, we need to import random. That random keyword, if I have a quick look in my program, all imports should be near the top. So the import random should be in the top of the program. You don't want to import it lots of times. So I have an import random as well. I'm going to roll a dice. I'm going to call it dice 1 because we want 2 dice. Using random, if you remember, there are a few other variables we could, in random there's a rand, they actually show a number of selections in here. If you look down the list, we've got random, rand range, rand int, and for the dice, it's simple as to use rand int, lowest number is 1, maximum value is 6. If you have a look at the description, it says it includes, and on the end here that you can't read, is both endpoints. So it says 1 to 6, including those 2 numbers. And if I display what dice 1 is, it came up as 2. If I run it again, it's changed it. Run it again. Okay, so it's given me different numbers. It is important you do the assignment, this equals part. A lot of people not realising this sort of statement says, do the command on the right, call the random program, do the randint function between 1 and 6, and the result of this, put it into dice 1. And then dice 1 is a variable, like a memory in your computer, in your calculator, that contains that number. So let's just run it again. Hopefully I'll get a different number this time. And you should keep going through and you'll find there are lots of different random numbers. So this is our dice program, the basic part of the dice. Now your job, there we go, we finally got a big number. So you need to extend this so that you can throw 2 dice. Then I would like you to calculate what the 2 dice total is. Total means add them together. And there's a little question. If you try using the variable sum, you may notice something. What does that mean? What do you think is version? You might need to go on the internet and have a quick look. Why don't you use the variable called sum in Python? Finally, it's up to you to put this code together because this is the main loop for the program to make the turtle move. What we need it to do is for the race step, 100 throws, get dice 1, get dice number 2, calculate the total. If the total is the right number for my turtle number 1, then move turtle 1 forward 20 units. Then you need to check what about if its total is the same for turtle number 2? What if it's the same for turtle number 3? And you can use that to calculate, create a program. So this for loop needs to be added on the end of the program so that it will actually try moving your turtles as appropriately as the numbers come up. There is a follow-up mathematical thing on this. So you write your whole program, you put it in there. A basic turtle program probably will get you a B. If you've got good comments in there, good variable names, I've given you a lot of the variable names anyway. If you give me that with comments on for loops and the if statement saying what the groups of commands are doing, then you could be looking at B+. Make sure you show a screenshot of what your turtle produces. So here's my turtle screen. If I want to grab it, I can do Alt print screen. Print screen is normally in the top right of your keyboard. Go into the document, and of course you've made your own copy. So oh yeah, I keep forgetting my graphical editor won't let me just grab the whole of this. What I'm recording the videos with won't let me do the normal cut and paste. Paste your screenshots in. The extension to this is I'd like you to be able to possibly do a few more turtles, so you're controlling maybe 6 at a time. Ask the user what numbers to do each horse move on, and paste your screenshot in. And then extra credit is to use this to do an investigation for mathematics. We've been throwing 2 dice. If you play about with the numbers, put your screenshots in, you should realise certain numbers are better than others. So for extra credit, use your program, change the variable, the number of the score for each horse. So, like I said, I think on my first one I scored 3. Every 3, horse number 1 moved. If the total was 6, horse number 2 moved, and the total was 8, horse number 3 moved. Pasting the screenshot, notice who won. And for your maths teachers, at the bottom, maybe put in a little note at the bottom saying what's the best numbers to choose for the horses under this game. And if you tell me who your maths teacher is, I'll give you a yellow ticket, and maybe they will as well if you do this mathematical investigation. Okay, so that's the task. That's the Year 7 test for the next 2 weeks. You've still got the polygon drawing program to do and this. I'm going to get things to overlay a little bit. So you've got 2 weeks from today, or from this Monday, the first lesson. You get 2 weeks to do this task, including as much as you can. Don't let yourself get behind. Keep on top of all the work. I am expecting everyone to be handing this work in. I don't want to be doing as many red tickets as I've done in the past. Okay, good luck with it. Enjoy. Record what you do. Make a copy of the sheet. Each time you type in a set of commands, paste what's happening, maybe make a note of what you've discovered. What does it create? Then do the task, create another turtle, show it, put the picture in, show that that's what was working. That's how you get your work. Just jumping to this end and trying to do the end task, you're going to struggle. You've got to do the exercises that builds up to it. That's how you're learning, is by trying new commands, seeing what they can do. If you can't see what they do, try changing things. So if you're not sure what this randint does, try changing the numbers 1 and 6 and play with it a few times, see what happens. Random numbers are hard to play with, but if I put that number 6 up to 600, you should see an almost immediate effect. Okay? That's it.